Bitcoin's over 38K. What's going on, everyone? Vega here from SerpentX Tech. I'm still sick after Thanksgiving, but welcome back to another episode of Caffeine Crypto, where I welcome you to join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice, or maybe you don't like caffeine, water, tea. Well, tea is caffeine anyways. Whatever you like to drink as we go over the cryptocurrency news. I still sound like crap, but Bitcoin's over 38K, and that's all I care about. That's all I care about. We almost hit 39K, actually. So good week, looking pretty green. Maybe not deep in the greens. Some of the coins are deep in the greens. For example, like Link is up almost 6%, you know, but there's a few coins that are deep into the greens. Not anything I would write home about, but yeah, some coins. Algorand up to 14 cents, Conflux up to 16 cents, so on and so forth. So either way, Bitcoin's looking good, but dominance almost at 51%. We like Bitcoin with high dominance. But usually when Bitcoin dominance retreats, that means altcoin season is upon us. And look at this, guys. Look at this. We have breached the legacy trend line. The legacy resistance at that 37.2 or 37.8K, right? You can see where we touched it multiple times. Let's zoom in here real quick. You can see where we touched it multiple times. So 1, 2, 3... kind of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times we kept hitting this wall. 11 times we kept hitting this wall. And usually when you hit the wall multiple times, that means we're going to fall down. Usually. But there's a lot of bullish momentum going on, right? Not only did the Fed situation or the Fed meeting kind of show us that, hey, you know what, maybe the Fed's done hiking interest rates, which is a positive thing that the ecosystem likes. Additionally, the ETF news, we had the SEC sit down with some people, Grayscale included, and we got a lot of positive momentum. And so this candle here on December 1st really was either going to pull back and be resisted again, hit that resistance and pull back, or push through, and we push through. Now we can sustain this because now that's support. If we can sustain this, that is good news for everybody, right? Not only for your altcoins, but for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. So I'm good. I'm happy to see that this is a strong legacy line. The purples and the blue are legacy trends. This yellow is an ascending, I guess you could say technically is ascending wedge because it does meet together like way out in the future. But either way, we're looking pretty good. And now, you know, even if we did fall, that legacy trend line will hold us up. And even after that, this ascending wedge, so to speak, would hold us up. And then we have the EMA ribbons that will hold us up. So we get a lot of support to hold us up in case we do pull back. And December usually does have a pullback. December usually does, because, you know, Christmas, if we look at it, and I should have brought it up before because I talked about this in my last stream, not last week, but the previous week. And sorry, I took the week off, guys. Thanksgiving holiday, spend time with the fam, stuff like that. But, you know, we talked about it last time, and it's usually around Christmas, usually after Thanksgiving into Christmas, we have a pullback, but we're doing the exact opposite this time. This is a completely different scenario, in my opinion. Crypto's a lot stronger. Blockchain's a lot stronger. There's a lot more mainstream adoption. It's not fully out there to where everybody and their mom does it. Thank you, everybody coming over from the Chump Change team. I hope you guys had a great stream. Trump Chain, sorry that your stream got a little bit crazy. And good morning to everybody real quick. Magic Lucky, Son of Rabbit Panda, Raspberry Pi, DJ Mines, hope you're doing well. Chlor on Fire, he says. Geek of All Trades, welcome. Automatic Beats, Geek of All Trades says, I used to hit the wall often too, but hey, Maker's Mark does that to a man. It does. Neomorphous 1.0, what's up? Sustainable Crypto, Nerd Beast, and Stefan. I hope you guys all doing good. Thank you for coming over from Chump Change. So real quick, what I basically mentioned is obviously Chump Change talked about it. Bitcoin holding over 38K. That's good. We talked about how Bitcoin hit this legacy resistance. So the two purple lines are legacy. Deep blue is like a real long legacy line. We hit this resistance 11 times, and usually when you hit something that much, you will fall back or fall down, as Geek of All Trades talked about with Maker's Mark. But instead, we pushed through on December 1st. After the indications from the Feds seems really good. They're probably going to stop the rate hikes. We got the SEC sitting down with some of the Grayscale team and positive news on the ETF front. So all kinds of different articles to go over, but bear with me and thank you for joining us. Make sure to hit that like button. And by the way, I did do a video on Etica, how to mine Etica, both for Windows and Hive. If you can help me disseminate that out to the populace, I would greatly appreciate it. Just got two rigs on it. I noticed a bunch of issues or concerns of mine for TT Miner. As far as an audit perspective, the dev needs to clean up the code, so I wouldn't recommend installing TT Miner on your Windows-based system. Hive on is fine, but not on your Windows-based system. Just a quick note. I will support or send that information over to the dev as soon as possible. But Solidity Miner on both Hivon and while TT Miner gets me better hash with less watts, Solidity Miner gets me less rejected shares, whereas the TT Miner, I was having almost a 60 to, if not 70% rejected shares rate. So check out that video. It's on the channel. Posted it late last night. Please help me disseminate that out to the mass populace, stuff like that. But Bitcoin eyes 40K as 1 billion in BTC withdrawals suggest a bullish mood, right? People, again, are still bringing their data, the data shows that 1 billion worth of BTC has been withdrawn off exchanges. So people are still pulling they're buying and they're pulling back, right? They're getting it off of centralized exchanges because you never want to rely on a centralized exchange. It's one of the reasons why we say it multiple times. Not only not leave a bulk of your funds on centralized exchanges, but do not mine directly to an exchange. I understand spec mining is fun. I do it too. I do mine to an exchange, which is counterproductive or contradictory or hypocritical of what I'm saying. But what I do is I immediately trade it for a different asset, Litecoin, Bitcoin, whatever it might be, and then I get it off of there. If you are mining to an exchange and leaving it, that you're risking it, right? We had situations, right, where TXBit has now closed. You had to get your funds off. Trade Ogre has had some issues, especially with Caspa, if you haven't been following that drama. Then I saw something going on with Safe Trade the other day. If you're not up to speed on any of this, feel free to follow any of us on Twitter. Geekball Trades is pretty good about providing updates. Chump Change as well. Yeti, myself, we all try to do our best to get you guys updates about scams, issues, maybe some fishy stuff going on there. But Bitcoin rally to 40K and higher by a year end has strengthened. The case for it has strengthened, with centralized exchanges recently witnessing a sizable exodus of coins. Data by Glassnode shows that over 37,000 Bitcoin, or 1.4 billion worth, has been withdrawn from the exchanges since November 17th, a sign of investors taking direct custody of their coins. Good, right? There's series on our channels, not just mine, where we show you how to manage your crypto, how to properly store your crypto. And I even have a guide to first break down finding out what kind of user are you. Are you a mobile user? Are you a you like to use the laptop or computer a lot? There's different apps of that, full nodes, GUI wallets, Electrum wallets, hardware wallets. We all try to educate you, and it's good to see that people are not risking leaving their funds on exchanges. And the outflow represents a bias for long-term holding strategy. Although some could have stemmed from Binance's guilty plea, that's something else that we got to talk about in today's video. The bias for holding seems strong, and demand and weakening sell side pressure in the market amid euphoria from the unexpected launch of an ETF. Exchange outflows have historically marked local price lows, supporting expectations of medium-term price rise. Right, and here's a chart from Glassnode that shows us, the outflows, basically the exchange balance total, all exchanges versus the price. Right, so as the price has risen here, we got more outflows. But I don't think that's just the only reason. Obviously, people are getting more educated. People are bullish upon a number of different reasons, and they just want to be in charge of their own assets, and that's good, right? I know a lot of people are lazy, and I don't want to say lazy disrespectfully. It's more about convenience, right? It's not convenient to be in charge of all your wallets and having multiple full nodes, Electrum, hardware wallets, devices, mobile, desktop, that you have to manage all these seed phrases, all stuff. That can be a little bit cumbersome. However, while I do recommend it, a lot of people don't want to do it. It's not convenient for them. They just want to load one app, boom, there's all my crypto, sell, buy, trade, whatever, send. Drinking some Doge Lord coffee, as always. If you guys check that out, make sure you get the miners blend. Anyways, we talked about Bitcoin trading over 38K, marked early Friday, right? That was December 1st, yesterday. While some major tokens jumped as much as 5% in the past 24 hours, overall market capitalization rose to 1.5 trillion, a level last seen in May 2022, adding some 400 billion since the start of October. The market watchers expect rate interest cuts by the central banks in months ahead could generally attract capital to the market, leading to more volatility in speculative markets such as cryptocurrencies. The Federal Reserve has paused its rate hike cycle, and central banks around the world are following, says Anthony, head of brokerage firm TradeStation. And they also say that it's plausible to believe that we have reached the heights of the tightening cycle. For risk assets that get a sustained bid, we will need to see, to get a sustained bid, we will need to see a path forward with lower rates at the end of quantitative tightening or quantitative easing. We are potentially entering into 2024 an opportunity for net positive liquidity for the markets. Bitcoin is pure reflection of net liquidity in the markets, and we would need to see positive liquidity to support substantial bullish activity. So overall, looking pretty good, right? The skies are clear. I'm liking it. But I would always urge you to manage expectations, right? Not financial advice, but manage expectations, right? Don't bet the farm and go all in on one XYZ coin. But this is good. Bitcoin price hits 39K as Powell stirs bets Fed rate hikes are over. Let's see if we could talk specifically to the Jerome Powell situation. The FOMC is strongly committed to bringing inflation down to 2% over time and keeping the policy restrictive until we are confident with that inflation is on a path that is objective. They also go on to say that it would be premature to conclude with confidence that we have achieved a sufficient restrictive stance or to speculate on when policy might ease. Now, at the very beginning, a lot of people are calling for a recession. My question to you in the live chat, and by the way, if you're trying to get my attention or anything, please do me a favor, hit, at me or send a super chat if you can afford it. Do not do anything stupid. I always recommend paying your bills, taking care of your family, taking care of your priorities before donating to us, the tech tubers, if you would want to call us that. I rather call it not an influencer, but an educator. But do you think the whole speak of recession is over? Is basically my question. Because that was a big thing. Like, everybody's calling for a recession. Do you think there's still a chance that we could go into a recession, or you think that's over? Let's see what else we got here. The narrative has not changed since last year, but markets continue to call for Fed pivot. As we have stated before, the Fed would rather spark a mild recession than risk a resurgence of inflation. This means that a long pause is still likely. Cointelegraph reported that the next meeting of the FOMC, or Federal Open Market Committee, is due mid-December, when any changes to the interest rates will be announced. Per data from the CME Group FedWatch tool, as of December 1st, market expectations unilaterally favored a pause in hikes. So, possible pause in December. And the recession term is still there, but the Fed will rather have a recession than a resurgence of inflation. So is it possible? Yeah, I guess so. But I'm not a federal. I'm not. So when it comes to fiscal responsibility and the jobs and duties of the FOMC, the Fed, the government, I am not the person to look to. But the actions they're taking scream positive indicators to me. Could we still have a recession? Yes. The Fed would favor a recession over an additional inflation, which is why I would urge caution and tempered expectations when looking at the crypto market. A lot of people are getting bullish. A lot of people are getting full. A lot of people are speculating online, Twitter, social media, and stuff like that. And people are flooding into various cryptocurrencies or into Bitcoin or what have you. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Do what's best for you and your household. Diversify yourself, and don't bet the farm on one specific asset. This is my objective advice, but not financial advice. Just be careful, because I don't want everybody to just FOMO into it, right? Oh my God, Bitcoin's over 38K, let's start buying a bunch of it. And then, it pulls back to 37, 35, 32K. I just want you to be smart with your money, please. So the SEC meets with Grayscale, BlackRock about potential Bitcoin ETF. So this, among the Fed's, rate hike situation, is a positive indicator overall. The SEC needs to be put in its place. We've been calling for that for quite a while. Some of the SEC officials, I can't remember all their names, including representatives like Cynthia Lumen, have been going on and confronting the news or the media about the SEC, its actions, and how it has hampered or mitigated the growth of the crypto cycle. So, as I've always said, I'm looking forward to the Bitcoin halvening, the next presidential election here in the United States, and then after that, I'm expecting, over as we move towards the end of 2024, maybe into Q1, Q2 of 2025, I'm expecting Bitcoin to go towards a new all-time high. Not hit a new all-time high, but go towards a new all-time high. Pure speculation on my part. But I've been in many bull and bear cycles for many years, and this is just me from the outside looking in. But again, I am not a financial expert. I am not a regulator. I am not in the government scene. I'm just picking up what they're putting down and interpreting it in my way. You might interpret it differently, and I would welcome any constructive criticism you might say in the live chat or in the comments down below. But anyways, the SEC formally engaged with asset managers ahead of a much anticipated decision on whether the regulator will approve a Bitcoin ETF. The SEC officials also met with representatives from BlackRock and the NASDAQ on Wednesday. And growing confidence in the market that Bitcoin ETF will eventually be approved appears to have been boosted by the price of Bitcoin. So basically, they're engaging with asset managers, which is good, right? They won't even engage, like the whole situation with Coinbase and Binance, stuff like that is, for example, just to reiterate here, Coinbase filed to become traded on the exchanges, right? As Coinbase stock itself, they were approved. They were told they kind of meet the requirements, and then they were hit with the Wells notice and fines, saying that basically flip-flopping on the decision here. The SEC needs to provide clear guidance, but also just needs to work. If somebody is doing something wrong, hey, you guys got to come in. We got to discuss some of the assets you're selling or distributing or whatever falls under XYZ. It's a security. You got to register as this, a brokerage, whatever. Right? You have that meeting, have that constructive conversation with the entities, whatever it might be, would be a positive indicator for crypto. But instead, they're sitting down. They're of course sitting down with the big money, right? The asset managers of these trillion-dollar fund management. But they're not sitting down with the Coinbases and other exchanges that thought they were doing everything by the book, and now they're not. So there was a memo where Grayscale met with the SEC on Thursday about potential conversion of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into the ETF, which we've been waiting for that to happen. But Grayscale challenged that decision in court and won. SEC officials also met with representatives from BlackRock and the NASDAQ on Wednesday, according to a separate memo. BlackRock filed for a Bitcoin ETF in June, followed shortly by a handful of other asset management firms. And there's a whole crop of them, as we've been talking throughout various caffeines and cryptos. By the way, every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time after Chump Change and Crypto Mikkel in the morning. And Crypto Mikkel, I did see you stop by. Thank you so much for the raid as well. Both of you guys rated me. Sounds kind of weird, but thanks for the raid. Anyways, there's not much on this. Basically, they're meeting, but what was the meeting about? Like, how do you feel about the meeting? Are you sure that you can get this ETF approved? Is Gary Gensler gonna work with you? Because he's been, as they say here, a critic of crypto, and has said in recent public appearances that he would listen to his staff input on potential Bitcoin ETF, which is funny because much of his staff has been going on to public media or mainstream media or lesser media to talk positively about Bitcoin and crypto. So if he's listening to his staff, he's not listening very well. Either way, just the fact that they met, I guess, brought some excitement. But we don't know like what would happen in the meeting. Now, of course, Bloomberg once again wants me to pay for stuff. I'm not going to, but Mike Novogratz predicts that Bitcoin is poised to reach its former peak a year from now. Right, so that kind of sits what I was talking about, right? So a year from now would be the end of 2024. Could Bitcoin be at 69K? Could it break that 69K? Because that's where we stop. If we look at the all-time high for Bitcoin, it was right below 79K, like straight up. So could it reach that 70K mark? 100%. I think it could. I think it could. Now, CoinMarketCap here says only 65, but I'm pretty sure we hit 69. Let's go back to here. Yeah, what the hell? Is that across all exchanges? That should be... Yeah, 68, almost 69K. I don't know what it's doing. Anyways, it's certainly possible. It's certainly possible. And I think it's... Bitcoin, there's only so much Bitcoin, guys. When there's a lot of demand and less supply, the price goes up. It's simple. But, if everybody just keeps holding their Bitcoin to dear end, the price will just continue to go up until somebody dumps it. ETFs will help out, right? Get some of that exposure without selling actual Bitcoin, right? I guess it will be tied to it in somehow. I'm not an expert in that arena, but it will obviously boost the price. I guess some of the ETFs, I think Grayscale is trying to change that, right? Where they would settle in cash or fiat. They're trying to settle in Bitcoin now, with the ETF swap or switch over. So we'll see how things go. But there's only so much Bitcoin, and there's only so much Caspa, which you can see why Caspa has been on a tear as well. It kind of got held back at that 13K mark, but look at the overall circulating supply, right? And look at the total supply, and look at the max supply. Like, we only have, what is that? Millions, billions. We only have about 7 billion, 6 billion, 6 point something billion Caspa left. There's only so much Caspa to mine, but the way the emission schedule and everything works, it'll be mineable for quite some time. Same thing with Bitcoin. There's only 21 million, right? There's only 21 million. And as we move forward, it's going to be harder and harder to mine Bitcoin. Matter of fact, if we go to my charts here, look at the Bitcoin hash rate. We're hitting new all-time highs, guys. The Bitcoin hash rate. Let me get out of your way. Right there. 569.66. Look at that chart. Just steady climbing up. So solo mining Bitcoin, this is why if you're wasting money on nice hash, easy mining, this is why you're not winning. Maybe some people might get lucky, but the likelihood of you hitting a Bitcoin block with a solo miner or a lottery miner is just getting less and less. There's still a chance, yes, but it's just getting less and less. And that's because the Bitcoin hash rate is just growing and growing and growing and growing. More farms are coming online. Larger operations are updating to more efficient miners, making it harder for the lesser guys to actually hit a solo block with our little itty bitty thing. So just reset your expectations, stack as much Bitcoin. If you can mine Bitcoin with what the hardware you have, mine it, but don't expect to hit the solo block because it's really hard to do it right now. Not saying it's impossible, it's just less likely than it was months, if not years ago. Anyways, moving on, we got a Fidelity or Forbes list or article here that says, mark your calendars. Date revealed as huge $7 trillion Bitcoin ETF countdown suddenly begins, heralding Ethereum, XRP, and crypto price chaos. Of course, you can listen to the article if you want to. It's about a 4-minute read, but just talking about the same things. You know, Bitcoin climbing up to 40K, XRP, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies getting boosted by it. After Ethereum founder revealed a surprising crypto-based AI plan, SEC documents have revealed the approved window for Bitcoin ETF traded fund by Wall Street giants that managed to combine 17 trillion, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing we just talked about. So they're saying mark your calendar, but you didn't give me a date. You don't give me a certain date. You don't say, hey, it's going to happen on this damn day. It's not. You don't know that. So chill out. But they're saying, you know, really this means that any potential approval orders are going to come on Monday, January 8th, Tuesday, January 9th, or Wednesday, January 10th. Mark your calendars, people. So that is literally a month from now, a month and a couple days, you know, that would happen. Will the SEC be delayed? How many times have they delayed it? How many times have they paused or pushed it off or kicked the rock down the road or whatever the heck you want to call it? How many times? It's getting stupid. So again, I'm managing my expectations. I'm happy the market's doing good. I'm happy crypto mining, ladies and gentlemen, crypto mining is doing good, right? You guys, while I was gone, I saw you all on Twitter and stuff like that, all rocking and rolling, being very happy, right? Jamming out, talking about how crypto mining is back, baby. You know, crypto mining to me was never dead, but a lot of people would have wrote it off. I was still mining. That's why I did an EVGA video, because it's been popping off. The price obviously has been pulled back. A lot of miners are jumping on it, so obviously that's going to reduce the amount of profitability. But it got up to $10, $15, depending on your machine or your setup or your configuration. F Society, Game Pro X, a lot of the Ghostwriter coins are also popping off. Even for somebody with a high cost per kilowatt hour, 15 cent, it is still profitable to mine these coins, right? We're looking at $1 up in profitability at 15 cent per kilowatt hour. A lot of Ghostwriter coins taking over that #1 spot. The data for the most profitable cryptocurrency to mine throughout the month of November is going to be skewed because these coins really started popping off after the middle of the month. So they're still, while they were climbing up, they're not going to show at the top of the chart. We'll see how December pans out. Can these Ghostwriter coins maintain? And as I say with any new coin, be careful. Be careful, right? We started to see a more an increasing trend of these projects that are proof of work projects that develop, have a nice little website, have a GitHub, no personal information, nothing about the team. They pop up, a bunch of people mine it, the developers sell their bag, and then the project disappears. But because it's not such a large scale situation like an FTX or a major collapse like a Terra Luna, the news isn't going to run with it. Nobody's going to hear about it. And then you're left holding a bag of a cryptocurrency that isn't worth crap. So even though these coins are doing good, crypto mining's looking better, do research into the project. Now, we already have an audit on Yeti.uk over on EVGA. Not only EVGA, but the contract. I did an audit on that as well. Yeti.uk, we're trying to do as fast as we can to go through what you guys suggest, but bear with us as we're, things are popping up. Things are popping up faster than we can keep up with, which is why we are doing what we're doing, and we're trying to make adjustments and make things a little bit more streamlined. But yeah, still, mining profitability is doing good, baby. Love to see it. Love to see it. Federal judge says SEC lawyers lied to freeze a crypto company's assets. No, not the SEC. They wouldn't lie. No. Magic Lucky says, I'm not sure 15 cents per kilowatt hour is considered high anymore. I know, right? 40 cents, 44 cents. Some people paying like 50, 60 cents. We should look up what the U.S. national average is. It's 15. It's 15 cents. Hang on. Remember my data? I did my data not too long ago. Yes? Can I help you? USA. I think my son's trying to get my attention. USA national average cost per kilowatt. It's 23 cents. Sorry. 23 cents. Now that depends on like where you getting your data from and stuff like that. But I would say like 20 cents is about the national average. So I try to base my data off of like 15 and 20. When I'm doing like my mining pool stats.stream information or like what the most profitable cryptocurrency is to mine, stuff like that. But hang on, we'll get to the topic in just a second. The federal judge says SEC lawyers lied to freeze crypto company assets. Would not surprise me, just FYI. Checking chat. All right, everybody's talking to each other. Helping cinemate the masses. Thank you. Nerd Beast. Don't FOMO DCA. Yes, sir, that is correct. DCA away. Nerd Beast spot ETF have to hold the asset. So spot Bitcoin ETF will have to hold actual BTC. That is what I've heard. Yeah. That's so they wouldn't sell. Well, I guess they would sell their Bitcoin holdings, but yeah, like Grayscale would be holding Bitcoin a 1-to-1, I guess. It would be we'll see. I'll pay for a Vegas trip for Serpent when my S9 hits a block. Wow. Well, let me know when that happens. Anyways, back to it. Let's see here. So, a federal judge thinks that attorneys from the SEC lied to receive a temporary restraining order and has ordered them to explain why. In the order, to show cause of filed in Ohio Thursday, Judge Robert Shelby has demanded the SEC to make a case for why its lawyers shouldn't be sanctioned by the court after conflicting stories led them to believe that the agency presented false and misleading evidence to order the freeze digital licensing and debt box assets in 2023. I never heard of this company. I never heard of Debtbox. But after accusing Digital License, which operates under the name Debtbox, of offering an unregistered security and defrauding investors of over $49 million, the SEC legal team claimed that defendants were attempting to move assets and investor funds overseas. The SEC cited bank statements and account closures as evidence the funds were moved internationally in an attempt to get temporary restraining order, or TRO, and intended to use this to freeze the company's asset, among other things. Just as we were on break, I was reminded by investigating staff, with respect to the investigation, which remains ongoing, that even in the last 48 hours, defendants have closed additional bank accounts, and I believe the number, I don't have it in front of me, was around 33 bank accounts have closed, Welch told the court on Thursday. These comments, Shelby wrote, were understood at the time to mean that the defendants had closed 33 bank accounts in 48 hours. This, coupled with the accusations that Debtbox and his team had tried to block the SEC from viewing social media sites, was enough to grant the 10-day TRO. It was subsequently renewed several times, the judge wrote. The SEC then tactically acknowledged that no bank accounts were closed in July 2023, and accounts were shut down by the banks, not the defendant, Shelby wrote. Well, that's a bit misleading. That's a bit trickery. After the hearing was dissolved, Welch told the court that the SEC did not actually know why the bank accounts were closed, and the commission had no evidence that the money had been moved overseas in January. So, wow. That's some shiesty crap, guys. The good news is that the crypto community is that the sort of conduct is exceptionally bad, even for the SEC standards. And I'm going to suspect the fact that the SEC is being sanctioned for misrepresentation might be the interest of people like Binance, Kraken, co-founder Jesse Powell, so on and so forth. That's crazy. So it's not like you lied, but you didn't tell the whole truth. The banks closed the account, not the defendant, and there was no funds being moved internationally, but you used it as a reason to lock it down. What a dude move. Anyways, same thing. So the judge is warning. So this is a positive for overall, right? Because if the SEC or part of the SEC is doing actions like this, and this is a bad look for the SEC. All right, this wasn't Gary Gensler themselves, but it may have been an SEC representative, maybe under the Gary Gensler team. So this is a bad look, right? Hopefully we can get that office refreshed with people who are going to be objective and try to help promote the growth of crypto in a positive way. Obviously, we want to be mindful of the retail investors, for the institutional investors and everything. We want to do what's best for the economy, but we'll see how things go. Ethereum price rallies towards key resistance, but is ETH strength sustainable, right? So basically it's talking about how it rallied to over 2100 with new developments in the layer 2 space and of course the Bitcoin ETF, but is it sustainable? Let's go take a look at the charts real quick. So all-time high, almost 5K, 48.5, we'll say, just for this stream. 48.5 was the all-time high. Is it sustainable? I'm just trying to see if it is sustainable. I mean, it is one of the largest DApp platforms out there, DeFi exchange and stuff like that. So a lot of people keep coming back to it. I don't know. It's a good question. What do you think, guys? Do you think ETH strength is sustainable? I know a lot of you actually sold your ETH and got out of it. Like some of you even straight up like was like, I sold my ETH for Casper. Fuck, FUCK, you know, Ethereum. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below or in the live chat. But anyways, pivotal development occurred on November 30th with the SEC initially reviewing Fidelity's ETF. All right, we know about that, blah, 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 ETF. Despite analysts predicting the SEC might delay its decision. Yep, okay. The Ethereum network's growth, especially in transaction activity and layer 2 development, is noteworthy. The Ethereum layer 2 ecosystem has become increasingly important as average transactions fee held above $4 for the last couple months. These layer 2 solutions offer more cost-effective and flexible options than the base layer. This growth is reflected in Ethereum's total value locked, or TVL, which recently hit a 2-month high of 13 million ETH, spurred by a 13% weekly gain in Spark and 60% increase blast in user deposits. And you can see the thing here, right? So we got about 19 billion in Lido. We got about 8.3 billion in Maker, Aave 5, Uniswap 3, and that's TVL, right? And then you have other exchanges like Binance Stake ETH. I think Coinbase is here too. Yeah, Coinbase wrapped ETH, but it only has 436 million. You know, that's the fact that people are staking. They're staking. So staking back in the day was not advised because you didn't know when it was going to be unlocked. You didn't know what it was going to take to unlock. You didn't know what the problems were going to be. You didn't know if it could get done. If it was done, would it be issues? But everything went smoothly. And so now you can stake and unstake or unlock your ETH. You can even convert your locked ETH into, like on Coinbase, CB ETH or Lido ETH or whatever the heck they call it. And you can get access to your funds. So now I can understand why people are doing it. But that's a lot of money to be locked up in ETH, period. And if you see that, that usually means that people have faith in Ethereum or the overall ecosystem. So I guess, according to these people, because the large amount locked or invested is a positive indicator that, you know, it is sustainable. In contrast, Tron, another leading blockchain in TVL terms, witnessed a 12% decline in the past 10 days. And you know what pisses me off? Any of my Asia market vendors, manufacturers, sponsors, partners, stop paying us in TRC20 and just use Polygon, please. Because trying to withdraw USDT on on Tron network sucks. There's not enough liquidity sometimes, depending on the exchange you're using, and it sucks. Stop paying us on TRC20s. Use Polygon. Use Matic, please. Recent high-profile hacks linked to Tron co-founder Justin Sun has also swayed investor confidence toward Ethereum. Well, that would definitely hurt. Blast, an Ethereum Layer 2 project, has impressively accumulated 647 million in TVL, a testament to the vibrant development within the space, despite facing criticism over centralization issues, which is still a concern of mine, and smart contract flexibility. Blast self-promoted features like auto compounding and stablecoin yields are attracting significant attention. On the flip side, the Blast has suffered criticism for centralization and the flexibility to upgrade its smart contract. Also, you know, Ethereum, while it's leading, there's Arbitrum, there's Optimism, which hold a combined TVL of 2.94 billion. In the context of TVL, it's insightful to compare Ethereum's robust Layer 2 ecosystem with other blockchains. Although these solutions are still subject to significant base layer settlement fees, there's no denying that impressive growth and increased activity they experienced over time. Take Solana. Its entire TVL encompassing projects like Marinade Finance, Jito, MarginFi, Solend, Arca, is currently valued at 71 million. The stark contrast highlights the edge of Ethereum's Layer 2 solutions and over its competitors such as Cardano, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, and so forth. So Ethereum still holds a strong or significant lead among, you know, Layer 2 solutions and just the overall development space, right? There's a lot more dApps, a lot more DeFi applications on Ethereum compared to others. So is it sustainable? I guess after reading that, yes. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Speaking of Justin Sun getting wrecked, North Korea hackers Lazarus Group at it again, stolen 3 billion in cryptocurrency, and this is over the last 6 years, right? We talked about it, and I keep giving you a new updated number, blah blah blah. But chain analysis and various analytic firms like chain analysis and the Department of Homeland Defense has just been monitoring it and watching it. Actually, I know a couple of the people from Lazarus Group. Good people. I mean, I haven't met them personally, obviously, because they're in North Korea. But as far as online interactions, I think they're good people. But they live in a country that, state-sponsored hacks are going to happen. Sorry. Just be careful, be mindful. Anyways, Philippines SEC to block access to the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance. Now, not only is Binance, I wonder, it's still the #1 exchange out there. It's been under a lot of scrutiny, right? But, yeah, it's still the #1 exchange out there. Coinbase is, like, not even close as far as 24-hour trading volume. Weekly visits, that's so much smaller. Crack is a lot higher. It's also leading in derivatives compared to Bybit. And as far as DEXs go, I don't think anybody uses their Binance DEX, do they? I don't use it. But yeah, so despite that, and obviously they're under scrutiny from the SEC, various regulators, they're having issues in all different countries. But also the Philippines have decided to straight up block Binance. And I know Binance is huge in the Asia market, so we'll see how impactful that actually is. I am not sure how much that accounts for trading or how much volume or money that is coming from the Philippines, but CZ stepped down last week after pleading guilty to willfully causing the exchange to fail to maintain an effective anti-money laundering program. They got found for anti-money money laundering, period. And so CZ is stepping down. He's probably still going to be in the crypto scene, as we know everybody that has gone to jail in the past. Maybe not Sam Bankman-Fried. I don't care. I don't want him to stay in the crypto scene. I want him to just shut up and go to jail and just stay in there. Or if he gets out, just shut up and stay away. But CZ is probably still, even though he stepped down from Binance, probably still going to be an active part of it. Maybe there might be a project that he gets involved in or something like that, but we'll see. Jack Dorsey also leads a 6.2 million raising or seed round for the centralized Bitcoin mining pool, Ocean. Basically, what is Ocean? Ocean announced that it raised a future Bitcoin mining conference yesterday, set against the backdrop of a 150-year-old repurposed hydroelectric dam in rural South Carolina, which utilizes excess energy for Bitcoin mining. That's very funny because a friend of mine just opened up a farm in the Carolinas. I wonder if you guys are working together. Interesting. Okay. The role of the Bitcoin mining pools must change for Bitcoin to exist as a truly decentralized currency. Ocean is a new type of pool that enables miners to truly be truly miners again. We're launching the most transparent pool and also the only non-custodial pool where miners are the recipients of a new block rewards directly from Bitcoin. Interesting. Ocean is solving problem for Bitcoiners that I think all of us feel. Further centralization of mining pools that could plague Bitcoin and how that risk a bunch of Bitcoin attributes that we hold dear. All right, Jack Dorsey, let's see what you got, baby. They're talking about Ant Pool and Foundry USA having such a huge amount of dominance, right? Foundry is in the US. You can't just go to Foundry and log in and mine to it. You have to have an account and yada, yada, yada. Ant Pool is usually used in the Asia market, but I think a lot of people use it. I know some of our smaller miners are using pools like Brains Pool, Luxor, Poolin, F2 Pool, via BTC, CK Pool, solo mining. But yeah, that is very centralized, right? That's a large amount of hash rate just on these two pools in general. And if we go to miningpoolstats.stream right now, miningpoolstats.stream. I don't know why I sang that, but whatever. If we go to Foundry Digital, let's see here. Can I log in? Can I create an account? Log in with Foundry US Pool account. Okay. Can I create an account? Nope. Can't create an account. Cannot create an account. How do you sign up for Foundry? Let's see here. Resources. Mining services. How do I sign up for you? Okay, I just clicked log in, but how do I create an account? US-based institutional grade mining pool. Security, trust, reliability. Okay, contact us. Interested in working together, contact us. But these are going to be for large farm operations, not so much for the at-home miner. So we'll see what Ocean does. Is it going to be, you're going to talk all this, trying to open source, be transparent crap. But let's see what you got, baby. Let's see what you got. And then lastly, but not least, before we just wrap up with random tangents, U.S. regulators doing a good job of alienating crypto sector. Now, Charles Hoskinson went off in one of his videos recently, and he's got some points. Could be a little bit more toned down as far as what he's trying to say or express, but he's got some points. He's got some points. So I don't know. Let's listen to it. Let's see what this says.
U.S. regulators doing good job of alienating.
Want to promote your tracks on Spotify for free? Getting discovered as a musical artist in...
I hate it when that shit happens. Get demonetized.
Moon boys?
Wow. If you know a crypto holder, send them this video. Why? Because the So if Cardano has any hope of ever flipping Solana, flipping XRP, I mean, it's never going to flip Bitcoin. It's never going to flip Ethereum. If Cardano has any hope of really advancing itself in America, I guess I should show you the full clip. You need to see the full context. So here is the exact problem crypto is facing with the SEC. Charles Hoskinson lays out the exact problem all cryptocurrency has. This applies to all crypto. Listen to this. You tell me.
Please talk about the SEC. There's nothing to talk about. Nothing at all. I see all these people say, well, can you go and prove you're not a security? Guys, everything is a security right now, according to the SEC. They would say Bitcoin and Ethereum were a security if they get away with it. Because the reality is that the way that the 1933 investment contract is defined, how we test is defined, is overly broad. And what happens is they litigate it if they really care. Baseball cards could be were written 70 years ago, cannot possibly have imagined our rules that were written 70 years ago, cannot possibly have imagined and comply with this new industry that exists. The United States, we regulate things by boxes. You're a currency, FinCEN, and BSA, and this other stuff. You're a commodity, CFTC. You're a security, SEC, et cetera, et cetera. Well, what do you do when you have an asset that could be everything all at once? It can be a security, it can be a commodity, it can be a loyalty point, it can be a representation of real estate, it can be intellectual property, it can be a collector's item, it can be an identity, and it can be all of those things at the same time. Who regulates that? So you're in full compliance with the CFTC and FinCEN and all these other things. And this other guy comes and says, come in and register. Come in and register. How? There's no path to do it. There's no explanation on how to do it. When you go in and ask, they say, we can't tell you. Ask your lawyer. Ask the lawyer. They say there's no path. Coinbase tries to do this. 2021, they file an S1. The SEC looks at it and says, you know what? Your business model is okay to expose to retail investors, millions of retail investors. You can sell stock to them. We will let you do an IPO. They explain their listing, all the assets, including ADA. We're on that. The SEC check mark. And then 2 years later, after talking to them like 24 times, they come back and say, oh, I can't believe you're selling these cryptocurrencies on your exchange. Well, we don't understand this model. You guys are an unregistered broker dealer, and we have to take you down. They say, what the business model is exactly the same with the business model that you approved and allowed us to sell our stock to retail investors with. You spent a year and a half with us and millions of dollars of legal fees talking to you guys. Why then wouldn't everything be okay? No, now it's not. And they said, well, what about all the time, the 2 years we talked to you, we have a broker-dealer license. We certainly could figure out a way to do this. You ghosted us. And now you're suing us. And Kraken. And Bittrex. And everybody else.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Ghosted us. As in, okay, you didn't come to us. We provided a Wells notice to Coinbase. I don't think they provided a Wells notice to others. I'm not sure. I don't think they publicly acknowledge it. Maybe Kraken. But, instead of coming to us and saying, hey, guess what? This is no longer within compliance according to the updated rules and regulations. We need you to come in so we can, get you registered as a broker dealer, get you registered of this, that, whatever. None of that. It was just, oh, we can't believe you're doing this. You're not registered. You're selling unregistered securities. We're going to fine you, and you need to close your doors and stop selling to retail investors. Like, you're supposed to teach. You don't punish and then teach. You teach. You remind. You repeat. And then if the actions are not corrected, then you provide coaching opportunities or disciplinary actions. So he's not wrong. Could have used a little bit of tact in the way Charles provided, but Charles isn't intelligent. Even if you don't like Ada, he's been in the space for a long time. He is an intellect within the blockchain space, and even if you don't like Ada, I think he's a pivotal point, one of the pivotal personnel within the crypto or blockchain space. Period.
It's a law. And they need to set clear rules, and the vast majority of people in the industry will follow those rules. The rules are not clear. It's impossible to comply with them. And I would love a memo to be drafted to show how, because it's not possible.
Now,
So hopefully with the election next year, the SEC hopefully getting shuffled up, maybe other people taking major office or positions in office, and just working with the industry and industry leaders to draft up clear guidance, step by step, rules and regulations. Here's the line, don't cross it. Hopefully we could get that after the USA election as well. Plus, like I said, the Bitcoin having, not happening. I don't know. Max keeps getting on me about that. Bitcoin having. Where is it at? Where's the counter? Where's the counter? Give me the counter. Countdown. It's the final countdown. There you go. 145 days. And that's why I need to go right now and try to start working on getting the concrete pad board and all that stuff. I haven't got any of the tools. I'm still sick. As soon as I do physical labor, I get weak. So I'm not sure if I got like the COVID flu variant. But I still got to get crap done. So even when I'm sick, I'm still working. I need to get my immersion container hooked up. We need to get wiring done. I need to clean up the garage. I need to get the Christmas stuff done because my wife's going to want to get it. I got a lot of work to do. I need to get started. My mom needs help with stuff, but I'll probably do that next weekend. I'm on call for Christmas and New Year's. So maybe, I'm not sure if I'll do a live stream on the 23rd. I might. But the 30th, I am definitely on call and I will be working. So bear with me, as you guys always do. And I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me today. I really do. Do you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise before we head on over to Red Panda Mining, which is coming on at 12 o'clock? You guys will be redirected to the stream. Obviously talking about GPU mining accumulation, realize. So as many of the content creators have acknowledged to you, the end user, the at-home miner, the small scale miner, the medium scale miner that still has GPUs to mine with, congrats, right? Because you continue to mine through the bear market. And now it's looking a lot more positive than it was earlier to be mining various cryptocurrencies, whatever it might be, or maybe your cryptocurrency popped off. Maybe you mined it early and now it's looking a heck of a lot better than it was before. For example, Caspa, right? Son of a Tech and I talked about Caspa long before it even shows up here on the chart, right? And we were told it was a scam. It was a shit coin. And then everybody's tune changed as the market continued to climb up, which I find very, very funny. But I still got my Caspa. I might have sold 1,000 or two during the run up, but I will plead the fifth. FIF fifth. So if you were mining said coins, and I think Neoxa, let's see here. Let's look at Chlor USD, Chlor AI USDT. This is what DJ Mines was talking about earlier, and this is on the daily. And you can see from the tracking of this from September 2023 to now, Chlor AI is at 28 cents, right? And so if we go to hashrate.no, and let's say we put one of my rigs on it, and we estimate at 15 cents per kilowatt hour, which is not the national average, but let's go ahead and put 0.20, calculate. Etica, making $4.50 a day. F Society making 69 cents a day. After electricity, Game Pro X $1.36. Is that Muka AI or Mute? I don't know. Moose AI? I don't know. Anyways, $1.50. Baba Coin. Like, maybe if you guys want me, I can probably do like a quick video on each of these coins. Look at a couple things with you and just give you my scale, right? Like a grade, let's say 1 to 10 or 1 to 100. But I'm going to still urge you to do your own research and stuff like that, because these coins come up faster than I can keep up with, and I got other things I got to do. So if you guys want me to do it, let me know. Tell me the coin. Don't forget, you can make suggestions at yeti.uk for audits. We're doing our best to keep up. There was actually one just done, requested by you, Clarkson, which is a a fork off of Caspa. There's EVGA. And then I also, as I mentioned, did contract audits. Wall Street memes, EVGA. I'm doing more and more. But we got a system in works, and we got a lot of things coming your way. So stay tuned. But just go to the suggestion session and suggest whatever you want. It might be already here, but you can always take a look and see, what you want to suggest. But yeah, man, let's see here. Chlor right now. And my electricity, I'm negative $1, but I'm making 23 chlor a day. And it's around, let's say, 25 cents right now, 28, 25 cents. If I make 23 a day and I hang on to it and chlor climbs up to 75 cents a day, then I can take profits. And obviously, I'm taking the L as far as cost per electricity, right? $1 a day, $30 a month to mine chlor with this one rig. But later on, it goes up to 75 cents per coin. Let's do some math real quick. It's some give and take, man. It's some give and take. All right, so we make, let's say, an average of 20 chlor a day times 30 times 3 months, and it gets up to 0.75 cents. That's $1,350, right? But during those 3 months, 30 times 3, I spent $90 on electricity. So the cost to make that money was $90. That looks pretty good. But it's a risk because chlor may not hit 75 cents. Chlor may go down and never come back. That's the catch-22. So you want to look at these projects and really see what is doing things that other cryptos aren't doing. What are the tangible benefits? What are the use cases? What are the real world impacts? And try to keep those coins in and this is just me speculating, not financial advice. Try to keep those coins on your radar is all I'm going to say. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. But anyways, you guys, you guys rock. I appreciate you. Community, stay together. I know when bearish times happen, everybody gets upset and we start attacking one another and start being mean to one another. Be nice to one another. Stay positive. Stack them sats. Do right by each other. And, bear with me. I know I got a lot of S19 content that's been coming out. More to come. I'm just trying to get it out because I had a brief stint of cold weather that I needed to take advantage of. Right? Because if I run the ASIC on air in my house on top of all my rigs, then my AC is working while it's cold outside, and I don't want that. So I use the cold air to kind of keep everything nice and cool. Hot air flows, and then I circulate that hot air during really cold days to heat the house, so I'm not running the heater or the AC, save some money. But Florida, it's warmed up again. And then it'll drop down to cold next week, and I might do some more. So a lot of S19 content because I got to get them all out or record it all when I have those opportunities until I get it dunked inside the immersion container, which is the content's coming, guys. I just got to build and do a lot of things. So just bear with me. But I appreciate every single one of you, and thank you for all your help, all your support, everything that you do. Keep sharing that data. Keep helping one another. Stay active in the community. If you're not making content, feel free to make content. I see some of you are getting hit with copyright strikes. Some of the new cats are getting hit with copyright strikes, and it's kind of pissing me off because they don't give any information as to why. I'm not sure what is going on. Mind something, Sterling Spectre, and a number
We're
of
using way too many
I'm not
platforms
sure
for
what is going on as Red Panda is about to go live. Just be careful, right? I know you guys are making the original content. I wish they would give us additional information, but just be careful. But don't be afraid to make content. Grab your phone, grab your camera, join us. Help us educate. Help us teach one another. All right? Get involved. Even if you don't want to pick up a camera, stay active, talking in Discords, Reddits, Twitter, whatever, right? Maybe you might have insight that I don't have. Maybe you might bring a different viewpoint that I don't have. We all complement one another, and we're here on this earth not for our own selfish ambitions, but to help others. So help each other. And have yourself a wonderful day. So do me a favor on the way out. Hit the like button. Make sure to get subscribed. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. Don't forget to pick up your Mind Disrupt 2024 tickets, linked in the description as well. And go check out Red Panda, coming on live right now. Have a great day. Take care.